Zara's. Turn around. Give me a 360. Hey, 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 hey. Damn, shorty, you got a man?
Off guard. What'd you say?
I shot her in the face. Those were the words Ladarius Brownlee spoke into his phone at 1 a.m. on July 5, 2024, as he called 911. His girlfriend, Zahara Hashemi, lay bleeding on Flower Mound Road, a bullet wound above her right eye. The TikTok couple, with over 155,000 followers, had just left Independence Day celebrations when an argument turned deadly. 3 months later, as Zara recovered in the hospital, she whispered something to her sister that stunned everyone. "My mom still loves him. Not I hate him, not I want justice, but instead a revelation that her mother, whose daughter nearly died at this man's hands, still held love for him. And obviously she herself still loved the man, so she forgave him." How does a relationship that plays out perfectly for millions of viewers on TikTok end with a gun to the face? The truth behind the screens reveals how dangerously we can misread the people we think we know online. This is the story of Denoy and Zahra, a couple who looked perfect online but faced brutal violence when no one was watching. This is Crazy Dark Files, where we shed light on the darkest true crime stories to help raise awareness and promote safety. By liking this video, sharing, and subscribing, you're not just following a channel, you're helping give voice to the victims and also helping others become more aware and safety conscious. Ladarius Morshan Brownlee, 28, and Sayyidah Zahara Hashemi, 28, were known to their over 155,000 TikTok followers as simply Deno and Zara. Their joint account, Deno and Zara, featured hundreds of videos documenting their relationship, generating millions of views across the platform. The couple shared content that on the surface portrayed a typical young relationship: pranks, relationship quizzes, playful banter, and glimpses into their daily lives together. Their videos resonated with viewers who saw them as relatable and entertaining, building a significant following in the process. However, following the July 5th shooting, many of these videos have been re-examined in a disturbing new light. One video that has since gone viral shows Brownlee putting Hashemi in a chokehold as she tells him to "get out of my video" and says, "I do not like you." Brownlee responds by saying, "go to sleep," while maintaining his grip around her neck. Though the interaction appears to be presented as playful, Hashemi begins hitting him in an apparent attempt to break free from his hold.
Get out my video! I do not like you.
Go to sleep.
No, you go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Exactly. Get out my video, punk. Kino, I will literally whoop your ass.
What's up? What's up? No, go to sleep. 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 Go to
In another video posted on May 30, the couple can be seen arguing about their relationship status, with Hashemi visibly irritated before eventually telling Brownlee, "I'm in love with you." A third video from May 27 shows Hashemi claiming Brownlee wanted to wake up grumpy, leading to an escalating argument where Brownlee tells her to get the F out and says, "I'm sick of this, and I'm sick of you, and every damn day." What appeared to many followers as typical relationship disagreements or even staged drama for views has been cast in a more sinister light following witness statements. According to police reports, witnesses described the couple's relationship as tumultuous and at times physically violent, a stark contrast to the image many of their followers had of the pair. Zahra Hashemi, Zahra's sister, later posted on Instagram that the family did not want to release any information about what happened in my sister's relationship without her explicit approval, acknowledging the public's curiosity while requesting privacy during this difficult time. The disconnect between the couple's online persona and the reality of their relationship highlights a troubling aspect of social media culture. The carefully curated images that influencers present often reveal only what they want their audience to see, potentially masking serious problems that exist behind the scenes. Beyond the more obvious concerning videos that have since gone viral, a deeper analysis of the couple's content reveals subtler patterns that experts identify as potential indicators of relationship distress. Court documents revealed that neighbors at their apartment complex had called police twice in the months before the shooting. One neighbor who requested anonymity told investigators, "You could hear them screaming at each other through the walls, things breaking. Then the next day, they'd be filming these happy videos like nothing happened." A concerning pattern emerged in videos where one partner would frequently interrupt or talk over the other. In one telling clip from March 2024, as a story about the day begins, it's quickly cut off mid-sentence. When attempts to continue are made, a hand is placed on an arm with the words, "Let me finish." The camera captures a brief moment where a smile falters before composure returns. In several videos, you can observe shoulders tensing when sudden movements occur nearby. It's a subtle flinch response that suggests hypervigilance, a common reaction developed by those experiencing unpredictable aggression. Friends who knew the couple personally later admitted to seeing concerning behavior but feeling unsure about how to intervene. One friend who spoke to police after the shooting stated, "There were times when phone checking was constant or permission was needed to go out with us. We thought it was just their dynamic, but now I wish I'd said something." Social media can create a dangerous environment where toxic behaviors are misinterpreted or even celebrated. When viewers comment positively on controlling behaviors, it reinforces them, explains one domestic violence counselor. The algorithm rewards engagement, regardless of whether that engagement is celebrating healthy or unhealthy relationship dynamics. The content also showed a pattern of reconciliation videos following apparent conflicts. These posts, often garnering the highest view counts, would show elaborate apologies, gifts, or public declarations of love. This cycle of tension, explosion, and reconciliation is recognized by experts as a common pattern in abusive relationships. In one video posted just 2 weeks before the shooting, sunglasses appear indoors. When a commenter asked why, the reply mentioned allergies making eyes puffy. Later investigation revealed that during this time frame, medical attention had been sought for an eye injury, with medical staff being told about walking into a door. Another troubling sign appeared in how the social circle gradually shrank over time. Early videos showed the couple with various friends, but by 2024, most content featured just the two of them. Isolation is a recognized tactic in controlling relationships, cutting victims off from support networks. Their comment section also revealed concerning dynamics. When followers would offer compliments, possessive responses would follow. "All mine," or "No one else can have this." What many viewers interpreted as romantic devotion takes on a different meaning in retrospect. What makes these warning signs particularly insidious is how they were hidden within content that otherwise appeared normal or even aspirational. For every concerning video, there were dozens showing seemingly happy moments, cooking together, traveling, or participating in viral challenges. July 4th, 2024 began as a celebration. Flower Mound, Texas was hosting its annual Independence Fest at Bakersfield Park, a community tradition featuring live music, food vendors, and a spectacular fireworks display scheduled for 9:30 p.m. Among the crowd were the TikTok couple, dressed in coordinating red, white, and blue outfits. They had posted a brief video earlier that afternoon showing their preparations for the event, garnering over 50,000 views within hours. In the video, they toasted with red cups, fireworks reflecting in their sunglasses. The caption read, "Making memories with my forever." According to witnesses who later spoke to police, the couple appeared to be enjoying themselves throughout the evening. They were spotted taking selfies near the main stage around 8 p.m., where country music artist Parker McCollum was performing. A food truck vendor remembered serving them loaded nachos and remarked they seemed completely normal, laughing together. The fireworks concluded at approximately 9:50 p.m. As the crowds began dispersing, the couple was seen walking along Flower Mound Road, heading in the direction of their apartment complex about a mile away. What happened next was pieced together through witness statements, traffic camera footage, and later testimony. At approximately 10:15 p.m., a couple walking their dog observed what appeared to be an argument between the pair near the intersection of Flower Mound Road and Morris Road. The witness later told police they were walking about 10 feet apart. The man was gesturing angrily and the woman had her arms crossed. We couldn't hear what they were saying, but the body language was tense. Another witness who was driving past reported seeing the couple stopped on the sidewalk around 10:30 p.m., engaged in what appeared to be an intense conversation. The woman was shaking her head repeatedly and backing away. The man kept moving toward her, pointing his finger. I almost pulled over to ask if everything was okay, but then the light changed and I drove on. I wish I had stopped. Traffic camera footage from the intersection of Flower Mound Road and Long Prairie Road, captured at 10:42 p.m., shows the couple walking with approximately 20 feet between them. The footage shows one person turning around multiple times, appearing to yell, while the other person keeps their head down, continuing to walk. At 11:05 p.m., a resident on Timber Creek Road reported hearing raised voices outside their home. When they looked out their window, they observed the couple in what appeared to be a physical altercation. According to the witness statement, one person grabbed the other by the arm, spinning them around. There was pushing and shoving. Then they both got into a dark-colored sedan parked on the street. This was the last public sighting before the shooting. What happened inside the vehicle remains unclear, but at 11:38 p.m., the car was parked on the shoulder of Flower Mound Road near the 2400 block. According to the subsequent police report, an argument escalated inside the vehicle. At 11:43 p.m., a single gunshot was fired. At 11:45 p.m., a 911 call was placed. The recording, later released as part of court proceedings, captured a male voice saying, "I shot her in the face." When the dispatcher asked for clarification, the voice repeated, "I shot my girlfriend in the face. We were arguing and I shot her. Please send help." The dispatcher kept the caller on the line, instructing him to apply pressure to the wound. The recording captures sounds of distress and repeated statements of, I'm sorry," in the background. Flower Mound Police Department officers arrived at the scene. They found a woman with a gunshot wound above her right eye, still conscious but in critical condition. The man was kneeling beside her, his hands and clothes covered in blood. The 9M Glock was on the ground approximately 3 feet away. Officer James Rodriguez, first on the scene, described what he found. The victim was lying on her back on the shoulder of the road. The suspect was cooperative and immediately placed his hands in the air when we arrived. He repeatedly stated, "I did it. I shot her. It was me." Paramedics arrived and immediately began emergency treatment. The victim was transported to Medical City Denton, the nearest trauma center, arriving on July 5th. She was immediately taken into surgery. Meanwhile, the shooter was taken into custody without incident. Body camera footage shows him being placed in handcuffs while repeatedly saying, "Is she going to be okay? Please tell me if she's going to be okay." He was transported to Flower Mound Police Department for questioning. At the police station, after being read his Miranda rights, he provided a statement. According to the arrest affidavit, he claimed the shooting was accidental. "We were arguing about something stupid. I got the gun out to scare her, to make her stop yelling at me. I didn't mean to pull the trigger." However, forensic evidence would later contradict this account. The gun was found to be in proper working order with all safety mechanisms functioning correctly. The trajectory of the bullet indicated the gun was held approximately 18 inches from the victim's face when fired. By sunrise on July 5th, the news had broken. The shooting of a TikTok influencer by her partner made headlines, transforming a social media love story into a cautionary tale about the realities that exist beyond the carefully curated images we consume online. If you're finding this case as compelling and disturbing as I did while researching it, please hit that like button right now. It helps the algorithm show this video to others who need to hear these important stories. If you're new here to Crazy Dark Files, consider subscribing to join our community of truth seekers. We cover cases like this every week, always focusing on the human stories behind the headlines and the lessons we can learn from them. Now let's continue with what happened after that fateful night and the remarkable story of survival that followed. Following the shooting on July 5, 2024, Ladarius Brownlee was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. According to court records, his bond was set at $900,000, 0 cents, and he was booked into the Denton County Jail. Zahra Hashemi was rushed to a nearby hospital in critical condition with a gunshot wound to her head. The bullet had entered above her right eye, causing severe trauma. Due to medical privacy laws, specific details about her treatment have not been publicly disclosed, but reports confirmed she underwent emergency surgery. News of the shooting spread rapidly across social media platforms. The couple's TikTok account, which still featured their 4th of July celebration video, became flooded with comments from shocked followers. "Praying for you to pull through this. I can't believe this happened to you. We were all fooled by his act." Their last video together quickly gained millions of views as news outlets began reporting on the case, transforming what had been everyday content into a disturbing artifact of their relationship's final hours. On July 8th, Sarah Hashemi, Zahra's sister, posted on Instagram that the family did not want to release any information about what happened in my sister's relationship without her explicit approval, acknowledging the public's curiosity while requesting privacy during this difficult time. According to verified reports, Zahra survived the shooting despite the severity of her injuries. While specific details of her medical recovery have been kept private by her family, it was confirmed that she remained hospitalized for an extended period. The most revealing insight into the family's response came through Sarah Hashemi's social media updates, where she shared that her sister was making progress in her recovery. In one particularly notable post, she mentioned that despite everything that had happened, their mother still maintained feelings of compassion toward Brownlee, a revelation that surprised many followers and highlighted the complex emotional dynamics that often surround domestic violence cases. This compassion from Zahra's mother toward the man who shot her daughter became one of the most discussed aspects of the case online, with domestic violence experts noting that such reactions, while difficult for outsiders to understand, are not uncommon in families affected by intimate partner violence. As Zahra's physical recovery progressed, the legal case against Brownlee continued to move through the Texas court system. Prosecutors maintained that the shooting was not accidental, as initially claimed, but rather the culmination of an escalating pattern of violence in the relationship. The contrast between the couple's carefully curated online presence and the violent reality of their relationship sparked important conversations about the dangers of parasocial relationships and the often misleading nature of social media personas. In a twist that left many followers stunned, the story of Dano and Zahra took yet another unexpected turn. After months of silence, whispers began circulating online about the couple's status. Those whispers soon gave way to confirmed reports that sent shockwaves through their audience. Against all odds, against what many would consider common sense, they had reconciled. The courtroom fell silent as the judge announced the sentence in February 2025. Ladarius Brownlee, the man who had fired a bullet into his girlfriend's head just 7 months earlier, would not serve prison time. Instead, he received 10 years of probation. The defense had successfully argued the shooting was accidental, though investigators maintained it resulted from a violent argument that escalated to near-fatal proportions. But it wasn't just the lenient sentence that left spectators speechless. It was the revelation that the couple had reconciled. The woman who had fought for her life in a hospital bed, whose family had been told to say goodbye, had chosen to continue a relationship with the man responsible for putting her there. What drives someone back to the person who nearly ended their life? This question haunted comment sections and sparked heated debates across social media platforms. Experts in domestic violence pointed to trauma bonding, powerful emotional attachments formed under conditions of intermittent reinforcement and power imbalance. Others suggested the influence of their shared public persona, the financial entanglements of their content creation business, or simply the complexity of human emotions that outsiders could never fully comprehend. Throughout her recovery, Zara's family had fiercely protected her privacy. Her sister Sarah had become the family's voice, sharing carefully measured updates that revealed Zara's remarkable physical recovery while keeping the details of her emotional journey private. "We won't release any information about what happened in my sister's relationship without her explicit approval," Zara had written in a July 2024 post that garnered hundreds of thousands of supportive comments. That recovery itself had defied medical expectations. Doctors had initially prepared the family for the worst, yet within a week and a half of the shooting, Zara was not only conscious, but sitting up and taking her first tentative steps. Truly a miracle, her sister had called it. A description few could argue with. The reconciliation raised uncomfortable questions about the cycle of violence and the messy reality of trauma recovery. It challenged the neat narrative arcs we prefer in stories of survival. The clean break, the fresh start, the triumph over adversity that follows a predictable path. But real life rarely follows such tidy storylines. Instead, it unfolds in contradictions and complexities that defy easy categorization or judgment. For every person who condemned Zara's choice, another defended her right to make it. For every expert who warned of the dangers of returning to an abuser, another emphasized the importance of agency in a survivor's healing journey. What remains unknown, what perhaps only Zara herself truly understands, are the terms of this reconciliation, what boundaries now exist, what promises were made, what support systems surround her. These private details remain exactly that, private, as the couple navigates a relationship forever altered by a single violent moment. Their story continues to unfold, a sobering reminder that behind the filtered photos and carefully edited videos lies the messy, complicated reality of human relationships. A reality where love and harm can coexist, where healing doesn't follow a straight line, and where the ending isn't always the one viewers hope for. The story of Dino and Zara forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth about our digital age. The personas we encounter online are carefully constructed illusions, fragments of reality selectively shared to create a specific impression. Behind those filtered images and edited videos often lies a much darker truth. Many of you watching formed what psychologists call parasocial relationships with this couple. One-sided connections where you felt you knew them intimately through their content. You watched their morning routines, their vacations, their tender moments. You left comments congratulating them on anniversaries and defending them against critics. In your mind, they became friends, role models, perhaps even relationship goals. But you never truly knew them. None of us did. This illusion of intimacy is what makes parasocial relationships so dangerous. When we believe we know someone based on their curated content, we dismiss warning signs that would alarm us in our real-life relationships. We rationalize concerning behaviors because they contradict the narrative we've accepted. Remember the video where Dino grabbed Zara's phone and refused to return it? Many commenters laughed along, calling it playful and cute. But imagine witnessing that same behavior between friends at a dinner party. A man taking his girlfriend's property, ignoring her requests to return it, using his physical advantage to keep it from her. Would it still seem harmless? The warning signs were hiding in plain sight, disguised as content, monetized for our entertainment. So how do we protect ourselves and others from these dangerous illusions? First, recognize that control is never love. When someone monitors their partner's communications, isolates them from friends and family, makes them account for their time, or uses jealousy to justify surveillance, these are red flags, not romantic gestures. They indicate a relationship built on power and possession rather than mutual respect. Second, understand that conflict style matters. Healthy disagreements involve compromise, active listening, and respect for boundaries. They don't include threats, intimidation, destruction of property, or using physical advantages to dominate. If you notice someone consistently winning arguments by making their partner too afraid to continue disagreeing, you're witnessing abuse, not resolution. Third, trust behavior patterns over apologies. Abusive relationships typically follow cycles: tension building, explosion, reconciliation, and calm. During reconciliation, abusers often become extraordinarily loving and remorseful, making grand gestures that seem to contradict their violent behavior. These moments of tenderness keep victims hopeful that change is possible, but without professional intervention, the cycle inevitably continues. Social media platforms bear responsibility too. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube profit from content that sometimes glamorizes controlling behavior or masks abuse as entertainment. These companies have the resources and obligation to provide domestic violence resources alongside content that might trigger or normalize harmful dynamics. As viewers, we must develop media literacy skills that allow us to look beyond the carefully constructed personas we encounter online. We need to question the narratives presented to us, recognize manipulation tactics, and understand that genuine relationships, even imperfect ones, are built on equality, respect, and safety. The tragedy of Danoy and Zara reminds us that behind every viral couple, every relationship goal hashtag, and every seemingly perfect partnership exists a complex reality we aren't privy to. Their story isn't just about two content creators. It's about our collective vulnerability to digital illusions and the very real consequences when those illusions shatter. As we conclude this examination of the Dino and Zara case, I'm left reflecting on the most haunting aspects of their story: how effectively social media can mask violence, how quickly adoration can turn to tragedy, and perhaps most poignantly, how a mother can still find room for compassion toward the man who nearly killed her daughter. This last element, Zahra's mother's continued love for Deno despite everything, speaks to the profound complexity of human emotions. It reminds us that love isn't always logical, that forgiveness doesn't follow predictable paths, and that families affected by violence navigate emotional terrain most of us can't begin to comprehend. The carefully crafted TikTok videos showing a loving couple now stand as digital artifacts of deception, evidence of how easily we can be manipulated by selective sharing. The millions who followed their journey became unwitting witnesses to a relationship unraveling behind a filter of fabricated happiness. If this case has affected you or made you think differently about relationships you observe online, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective might help someone else recognize warning signs in their own life or relationships. If you found value in this analysis, please consider subscribing to Crazy Dark Files. We're committed to examining these difficult cases not for sensationalism, but for the lessons they can teach us about human behavior, digital culture, and the sometimes dangerous intersection between the two. Hit that like button if you appreciate content that goes beyond headlines to explore the psychological and social dimensions of these cases. Your engagement helps this channel reach others who might benefit from these discussions.